Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a big one, Find Your Why by Simon Sinek and his crew. And listen, this isn't just some dusty business book. Nope. It's more like a hands-on manual, a real guide for connecting what you do every day to, well, something that actually feels meaningful.
All right, so let's just dive right in with the million-dollar question. I mean, really, why do you get out of bed in the morning? It sounds so simple, right? But the book argues that really sitting with this, truly answering it, that's the first step on a journey to not just a better job, but a life that feels genuinely, well, fulfilled. But before we can even start to tackle that big question, we've got to get clear on something really important. The authors draw a line in the sand between two feelings we're all chasing, and let's be honest, we usually mix them up. I'm talking about happiness and fulfillment. And spoiler alert, they are not the same thing, not even close. Think about it this way. Happiness, that's like a shot of espresso. It's that awesome but super temporary buzz you get when you hit a sales target or finish a project. It feels great for sure, but it wears off. Fulfillment, though, that's something else entirely. It's that deep, quiet, lasting feeling that what you do matters, that you're a piece of a much bigger puzzle. And that right there, that's where your why comes in. This is the heart of the whole book. Your why is your purpose, your cause, the core belief that actually gets you moving. It's the source code for that lasting fulfillment we're all after. You know what? Let's make this real. The book has this fantastic story that illustrates it perfectly. Okay, so meet Steve. Steve sells steel, and he's been doing it for 23 years. Now, you might think, wow, 23 years of selling steel? That sounds repetitive. But here's the kicker. Steve was still fired up, totally passionate about his job. So the big question is, how? How is that even possible? So at first, if you asked Steve what he did, he'd give you the standard answer. It was all about the what. You know, I sell this super pure form of steel. It's great. It makes machine parts lighter and more efficient. And look, that's a perfectly fine logical pitch. But does it give you goosebumps? Probably not. But then someone hit him with this tiny two-word question that changed everything. So what? Just that. So what? And that simple little question was like a key. It forced him to stop talking about the specs and the features, to dig way deeper, past the what, and finally get to the real why. And boom, there it was. Steve's why wasn't about steel at all. It was about using the planet's resources responsibly. He realized that by helping companies be more efficient, he was actually helping leave the world a little safer, a little healthier for his own kids. I mean, come on. All of a sudden, selling steel isn't just selling steel anymore. It's a mission. Okay, Steve's story is amazing, right? But it leaves you wondering, great for Steve, but how do I find my why? Well, you're in luck. The book lays out this simple but incredibly powerful tool to help us do just that. It's called the Golden Circle. So, imagine 3 concentric circles. The outer one is your what you do. The middle one is how you do it. And right there in the center, the bullseye, is why, your core belief. Now here's the thing, almost everyone communicates from the outside in. We start with the what. But the most inspiring people in companies, they flip the script completely. They start from the inside out. They start with why. And get this, because this is the really cool part. This isn't just some clever business idea. It's literally hardwired into our brains. The Golden Circle lines up perfectly with how our brains work. That outer what part, that talks to our neocortex, the rational, analytical part of our brain. But the why and the how, they speak directly to our limbic system. That's the part that handles feelings, trust, loyalty, all the gut decisions. It's biology, not just marketing. Okay, let's see this in action. The book gives this brilliant example comparing 2 different sales pitches for the most boring, everyday product imaginable. A piece of paper. So, pitch number 1, the what pitch. It goes something like this. Hey, we sell paper. It's high quality, best price, better than the other guys. Want to buy some? I mean, it's fine. It's rational. You might even make a sale. But there's zero loyalty there. The second someone offers paper for a penny cheaper, your customer's gone. See ya. But now, check out the why pitch. It's a totally different world. What good is an idea if it can't be shared? Our whole company exists to help spread ideas. We make paper for big ideas. Want to buy some? See the difference? Wow. It's not about paper anymore. It's about a cause. You're not just buying a thing, you're joining a movement. All right, I'm sold.
You're probably thinking, okay, I get it. Starting with why is powerful, but how in the world do I find my own? And that's where this book really shines, because it's not just theory, it's a practical, step-by-step guide. It's basically a 3-step process. Think of it like being an archaeologist of your own life. First, you dig up stories, specific memories from your past, the good, the bad, the moments that really shaped you. Then, and this is super important, you team up with a partner, someone who can give you an outside perspective, and you look for the themes. What are the common threads that tie all your stories together? The whole point isn't to invent a why, but to discover the one that's already there. Once you have those themes, you boil it all down into a super simple statement. The format is always the same: to do something so that something else happens. This structure is pure genius because it's clear, it's easy to remember, and it forces you to think about action and impact. So that first blank, the to part, that's your contribution. It's what you do for others. The second blank, the so that part, that's the impact you want to have on the world. And when you put it together, it just reframes everything. Your job title doesn't matter as much anymore. What matters is the difference you're trying to make. But listen, and this is a big but, finding your why, that's not the finish line, not even close. The authors are really clear about this. That's the starting gun. The real work and the real magic happens when you start to actually live it day in and day out. Because at the end of the day, this isn't just some personal self-help exercise. Your why is a tool. It's something you use to contribute. It's about taking your purpose and using it to build better teams, better companies, and maybe even a better world. One where more and more people can feel that sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing their work actually matters. Look, knowing your why is like having a compass for your life. It helps you make decisions. It gives you a reason to get out of bed. It's the foundation for everything. So the question I want to leave you with isn't just what do you do, but what's the one purpose, the one belief that you're ready to start living?